What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by SRI Performance Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, Profab Headers and Exhaust, and Earl Ramey Racing Engines. What's going on, guys? I'm David.
I'm Connor.
I'm Terry.
There's Terry, the smoothest voice in motorsports.
Yeah. Somewhere along those lines. That's it.
Yep. What's up with y'all? Connor, what's up with you?
Not a whole lot. I feel like it's been a while. It has been a while since I've been here.
It had been a month, I think.
Yeah. A lot of racing, a lot of getting ready for racing, and just normal stuff. And school year starting to wind down and everything else.
I figure so you're getting all that end of the year stuff in at school.
Yep.
It's fun.
Finishing up.
I'd be graduating here. Just
about a month or so.
I think so. A few weeks.
Coming up.
Youngins. So you ready?
Almost 11 years ago.
I don't want y'all. I ain't even talking about it. I'm going on. Actually, next month will be 20.
Oof.
So you ready for everything after school? You got everything lined up?
Yeah, much as it's gonna be, I guess.
Much is gonna be.
We'll see how it goes.
Cool. Terry, what you been up to, man?
Well, drove all the way up to Hickory. It was fun to watch some modified racing and some pro late model racing. It was good to have both of them finally this season on the track together. Big weekend. I got an off weekend. That's weird.
It's coming up.
I'm off. Yeah, I'm off for the first time all season. So
There you
my
go.
wife's happy. Her parents or her mama's coming down. So
Okay.
she's going to watch this. I wanted to go to Orange County for the Cars Tour race, but she said no.
She said, nah,
Yeah.
I get it. We're recording this, and y'all that will be watching the video. For some reason, good old modern technology will not go live tonight. I don't know if it's our program or what's going on with it. Who knows? It's just one of those days. So we're
You could edit the part out where I said that I didn't want to be here when her mom comes down, right?
I can edit it out.
Nah, I just leave it in there. She
I
won't
said I
watch it.
can edit it out. I didn't say I would edit it.
Oh. Well, maybe that'll be an incentive. I'll be like, hey, there's a nugget in there. Now you have to watch it to gain one more follower in here.
There you go.
Her grandma's coming down, too. They're taking like some big 3-generation picture or something. I don't even know what the
Sweet.
big deal about that is. It'll make no sense. Like, just,
That'll be
there's Photoshop nowadays.
4
Put it together.
generations.
Too many generations.
with your daughter. So that'll be 4 generations. Yeah.
Too many.
That's awesome. It's awesome. Well, we got Terry on here. As always, he's on here after every Carolina Pro late model series tour or series race and the Carolina Crate Modifieds, and we still got to come up with a name for this segment.
We do. Maybe Connor can help us think, because we tried this last week.
we
and
tried last week. We
We
couldn't
sounded
do it.
awful.
I have to think. I don't
See,
know.
now he's gotta
That's a
think.
big acronym to.
I know. That's
Fitting
what I
too
said.
up.
So we got to figure
It's
out.
like 20 words needed condensed down to
Yeah.
like a segment.
Exactly. So we got to figure out a name for this segment.
Carolina, I mean, you can't call it the Carolina Racing segment, because
No.
then we'd be talking about Dillon, Florence,
The normal
Hickory,
stuff. The normal
everything.
stuff.
We talking about every short track. But I don't know. Just call it the CC
Oh,
PLS something times 2.
we might get confused with other letter acronyms, and I don't know if I want to do that.
This is a PG show, right? Oh.
we might
Hey,
get
what's-
we might get canceled.
Well, I mean, I've been on here twice. We're not canceled yet. We're okay.
We're all right. We're all right.
It was a good weekend of racing. Obviously, the Smart Tour was up there with us, and that's a good partnership between the Crate Mods and the Smart Tour. Where, most of the people that are in the Smart Tour, the younger kids, they have raced in the Carolina Crate Mods, and you get Jimmy Blewett's son in there, Burt Myers' sons in there. You got all of them that are coming up the pipeline. You got Jack Baldwin races over there, but they can't seem to beat Josh Louder.
He's fast. He was. We had him on here last week, and Terry. I remember Terry asked him, how many more are you gonna show up to? Well, I don't really know. I mean, it's just kind of one of them things. It's like you fly by the seat of his pants, show up and win.
Well, he literally. well, we talked to him. We asked him last week. We said, "Hey, you got a chance to race with your dad. Dean's gonna be in the 63. What are you doing?" He put his car together at 9:30 at night on Friday. Showed up to the racetrack with Dean on Saturday. He won the pole. Not by a lot. I will say Ogburn was kind of with him. The defending champ stayed kind of close, but Josh was gone. He inverted, went to the back, drove it, and as soon as he got the lead from Kevin Orlando, bye. And he dipped on him.
How was his wheel stud situation this week?
He didn't break a wheel stud this week. I think he listened to you and went on and got some. But
I think we had a drop from that also because it was really funny because SRI used parts right. I think the day after the show, put up a picture of their wall of wheel studs that they had left over.
Well, that means they're watching. Maybe he went over there and got some wheel studs because he didn't break any. Dean had an issue. Not sure what went on with the 63 car, but he pulled it down early. And I mean, other than that, the race red flagged, had a blown motor at some point in time in the race. And once they got all that cleaned up, it was the final 25-ish laps, and he checked out on them. I mean, that cat was gone, and there was confusion at the end of the Smart Tour race. There was confusion at the end of the Carolina Crate Modified race because Slate Myers thought he was in third. Burt thought he was in third, but was content to fourth. But then they put him to fifth, and they were mad. It was confusing.
So did they get it all figured out at least?
Yeah, I mean, good as you could. I mean, if you go back and watch the broadcast, I stood up there, and according to the track, I mean, you've been to Hickory, right?
Oh yeah. According
to Hickory, like the big old board they got sitting over there in the middle of 1 and 2. It showed him third. I showed him third. Like, I looked at him, and he was third on the racetrack. When the time of the caution came out, he was third. Apparently, we reverted back to the lap, which he still, in my opinion, was third. But they put him fifth. And Sean McIlerney came down pit lane, was in the wreck, and still got his position back, went back to third.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, how did that happen? And I was just as confused. Apparently, there was confusion with the tower and our race director, and it was just like, I don't know.
Huh.
I called a race from the flag stand, too. That's pretty cool. And talked to a tire in the Pro Late model.
I saw that. I was going to ask about the conversation with the tire. What brought this about?
It was a really good interview. So in the Pro Late model race, Vito Cancilla ended up turning. It was an accident. He ended up turning Max Reeves. I mean, I think it's just kind of like 3 and 4 is kind of like the same way 1 and 2 is for Florence. You get down in there, and if you overdrive it and you just don't figure it out, you're gonna wash up. And if you catch it, cool, you caught it. But if you don't catch it and you kind of jab the brakes a little bit, and then you get back in the gas, you're up in the track and you're smacking whoever's above you. Well, off of 3 and 4, he smacked him, and Reeves went around and barely tapped the wall, but it caved in his front, and it put it right on the tire. And as soon as it got on the tire, he rode the rest of the race with a wheel rub pretty much. Tire was mad. I mean, the tire was hot. Reeves was hot. So I said, you know what? I'll just talk to the tire.
Best interview of the night.
Yes, it was. The tire was like, I'm good. Like, I got a lot more left in me.
So what was your thoughts on the weekend there at overall, how was the racing at Hickory?
I mean, it's always good. I wish we would start earlier. From my perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, you show up to the racetrack. I showed up at 3:00 to getting ready to work, and obviously, I think we spent a little too long on pit parties. Probably could have. I mean, if you watch the Flow broadcast back, the moment qualifying ended to when we threw the green flag was like an hour and 45 minutes.
Wow.
That's way too long to keep people's attention. I sang to the crowd. Like, I was trying to hype the crowd up and keep them going.
I saw that. I heard the Rocky Top rendition.
It's a long time to try to entertain people, and in between it, I mean,
sound like you might have had one response from the Rocky Top.
I had two.
Okay.
I got booed a lot.
I think you were in the wrong area for that. It's like That's not quite as bad, but that's almost coming as bad as coming down here to USC and trying to sing that there. I mean, I think
Well,
it'd be worse.
the last time I showed up to USC was 2020, and yeah, we won. So,
That happens a lot.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
So
we don't worry.
I was
Look,
singing Rocky Top pretty loudly.
Look.
And,
me and Connor are true South Carolina fans.
so you're used to disappointment.
We don't worry about the win-loss record.
Yeah.
That's not what we worry about.
Most
at all.
South Carolina fans don't worry about the win-loss record because they're so used to a lot of losses
Well,
in
I
that
mean-
column. They don't know what wins are.
I mean, play us some women's basketball, and we'll talk about that.
There we go.
If women's basketball's the place we got to go, y'all have a really bad athletic department.
At one point in time, it was baseball. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're okay.
they're
Well,
okay.
They're good enough to make you think they're going to be good before they lose again. But
That's like the Dallas Cowboys. You
Oh.
think they're good,
Oh, yeah.
and then you're like, you're really good. Yeah, I mean that's actually kind of how I describe Hickory 90% of the time. You get there and you're like really pumped, and then it's just like, yeah,
it just
the bottom.
it looks
bottom's
hard to
all the way
pass
down.
around there. I don't know.
It is hard. I mean, a lot of the drivers they get out of the car, and if you run the bottom, that's it. That outside lane is not existent. If you're trying it, good on you, but it ain't gonna last long. And to
No.
me, as an announcer, I mean, you're standing up there, you're watching this race, you're just like, do something. Like,
Well-
hey, come on.
Well, I will say that track is probably one of the worst that is in need of a repave job, but I can understand why they wouldn't want to do it. But I'm going to tell you, I walked across that track. It's been a couple years ago now at the Easter Bunny. Our buddy Derek Griffith won it, and I literally rolled my ankle in a crack on the track. I mean, it's not like it's not like cracking the track at Florence. It is a trench.
Like this.
Yeah, it is a trench.
They filled some of it.
Yeah.
I will applaud.
Oh, yeah.
Because I do not want Hickory Motor Speedway. I've got 3 more visits to them. I don't want them thinking that I'm up here bashing the racetrack.
No, I'm not
I
saying that. It's just got a lot of character.
It has a lot of character. I applaud what they have done. They tried to fill the holes. They did. Like the gaps into the track, they filled it. The bathroom is phenomenal.
Yeah.
They have running water. It's like a trough for potty. It's like a bidet.
A
Like a
bidet.
bidet for peeing. It's cool. It's got a little trench thing. I'm telling you, the pipe runs all the way across it, and it just sprinkles water down it.
We got one of them in Dillon in the
I'm sure it's not
infield.
quite as nice. I don't
No,
know.
not quite as nice.
Well, they epoxied the floors. They're
Oh, wow.
cool. The upstairs where the VIP in the media section, I guess, is because you got like this much media section over there. But then the place where you go and pay for the membership or you pay for the whatever sponsor, that's pretty cool. They got
Sweet.
little sweet movie theater chairs in there now.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what I said. But
So tell us about the pro late model race.
well, Max Reeves originally was, once he got up to second, he was content. And, him and Vito was racing it out. He took the lead. Once Reeves took the lead, I guess Vito and them side by side coming out of 3 wrecked the fastest car.
Wow.
Or so who we thought was the fastest. That opened the door for Tristan McKee. He's raced 5 or 6, never won one. George Phillips was just whipping his butt every time he got out on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Tristan McKee finally walked into victory lane, which was super, super, super cool.
He-
But for Reeves, he was hot. Got second, didn't like it, understandably so.
he's a young wheel man there. He's gonna be something, I think, one day. He last year? Yeah, last year he came down to Dillon
And the cars.
and won the cars
football-
pro late model race there. He's gonna be he's gonna be a talent for sure. He was actually gonna come on here tonight, and they're off testing at Millbridge. So
Yeah, they don't slow down.
no, he don't slow down.
That family. We talked about it last week. How cool it is for the Carolina Pro Late Models and the Crate Modifieds to see all these names come in there. And it's kind of like, I would say, the Xfinity series where your name starts to get made. You learn the PR side of things. You start learning the racecraft side of things. That kid understands it. Like, that family understands it. And to see him go to the Cars Tour Pro Late Model and then racing the late model, and then he comes and runs the 400. He comes and runs the Classic. He comes and runs all these special events. And then he goes to Millbridge.
Yeah.
And then he goes runs this. He's like Beckham Malone.
Yeah,
You'll
exactly.
see Beckham Malone show up in whatever. He might run a Pro Late Model this day. He might go run a late model. He might go run a Legend or a Bando, or, you know what? Let's go put him in a dirt late model at Charlotte, and he's going to wax the field.
Yep.
Like, first starting a dirt late model, and the kid goes out and win it, and you're like, did he just do that? And then he has car control when he gets on the racetrack. Like, he gets on an asphalt track, and it's like, well, okay. Like, where did you learn that from? And it's like, well, I tested at Millbridge for 2 weeks straight. You learn the dirt side of it. That's what makes the big difference.
I really, I think that kind of, I mean, we talked about that before, but that came around, I think in the Kyle Larson era where they thought, you had to get dirt experience behind you to be smooth in these cars. But I still think it, like we talked about last week with Josh, I think it's still, really good for car control.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good path, I think, and that Team Chevy deal that he's in is there with Josh Wise and all those guys out there just they're shoving so much information down their throats and teaching them how to hold on to it because that is it started out years ago. Toyota was kind of the ones that kind of were in the forefront of that and made all the gains with the development stuff coming up. Well, all of a sudden, Team Chevy has jumped on board with that, and there is a crowd of drivers coming into Team Chevy. Well, still developing through Team Chevy. I mean, you had, Tristan McKee, you got Katie Hettinger, you got so many other ones. I don't even remember all of them right now.
It's a list as long as my tax return.
Exactly. And so it's impressive what they're doing and the way they're bringing them up through there.
Yeah, I mean, sim time, you talked about it with Toyota. Years ago, sim time for a lot of these race car drivers was just like, what the heck is a sim? And then you start doing it. And then they're like, Toyota's like, I'm going to put Eric Jones through this sim. I'm going to go put Joey Logano at the time, him coming out of Legends and running his way up the ranks. We're going to put him in our sim. That builds it. People like Larson. I mean, Josh Berry came from, simulation style background. So did William Byron. But you look at the litany list that we have of drivers that came sim-wise that was able to go through a development program. It's massive. But it was mostly the pipeline of Toyotas. Before now we're seeing a pipeline of Chevy. Ford eventually will jump on board. You had Deegan for a while, coming up through that list. But really, who's coming through the pipeline of Fords today?
Well, and I think that's one of the big issues with Ford right now because they're not developing in any way, and they're not use. I don't think they're using. It sounds like they're not using the sim and all those models to their advantage as the other ones. It seems like Chevy and Toyota are just ahead of Ford right now, as far as that goes, and I think that's their issue right now in NASCAR. But back to the Carolina crate modifieds.
It worked because I mean, with the prolates for Tristan McKee, he's a Chevrolet pipeline driver.
Exactly.
He got to tour the stuff, and then you think of people like Josh Lauder. He doesn't have that. He builds his stuff in-house. Like, that's an in-house way. So both winners, which, by the way, I didn't get to say it because I said I was going to announce it here. Central Logistics jumped on board for the modifieds.
Awesome.
So that'll be a brand new deal that we'll see all season long, that we'll have the Central Logistics 62 at our racetracks. And then Cookout jumped on board for the Hickory one, or the Cookout 100 at Hickory. So that was fun. And hopefully we'll have more stuff to kind of feasibly announce along as it comes.
Awesome, Terry. Good deal, buddy. Good deal. Well, man, that's awesome. What's up next for the the Carolina boys there?
Well, we have a big break, a massive break. We don't come back until May 24th at Franklin County Speedway. It's a Friday night. Yeah, it's a long break. So I'll be at Florence for a good while. Just know that. I'll see you a ton. But yeah, May 24th, we head to Franklin County. It's a 7 p.m. start, and it'll be simulcasted. Actually, it'll be exclusively to Flow.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll be an exclusive Flow broadcast for the Friday night.
awesome.
We're in the heels of the moonshine.
That's what I'm talking about. Good deal, man. Well, cool, buddy. Well, man, I know you got some iRacing you want to get to tonight, ain't you?
45 minutes. If
You got
we
to
won't get this up,
You,
hit the kid, and then I'm going to go win some B Open this week.
there you go.
Connor, when you get bored, Dave, when you get bored too, get in there.
Hey,
Come race
you have to hit me up with that magical setup. I don't have any of those, but we can hop on.
I'm just going to go dominate them. Y'all behave. Enjoy the show.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you,
job.
buddy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the smoothest voice in motorsports, as they call him, Mr. Terry Radford, coming on as he does for our new segment that we still got to pick a name for
Yeah, well, I have to brainstorm it.
Carolina Crate Modified Series and the Carolina Pro Late Models. And back again this past weekend at Hickory Motor Speedway, as we were just talking about. So, congratulations to them boys. Our guest last week, Josh Louder and Tristan McKee, taking home some wins up at Hickory Motor Speedway. But I want to let's move on real quick before we get any farther. Florence Motor Speedway this past weekend, double day. It was kind of the annual double day.
It was not everybody was going double features, were they?
Chargers did not, and Limiteds did
Yeah.
not, and Four Cylinders didn't. I don't.
Trucks didn't either, did they?
No.
Or-
Did they race trucks? Yeah, they raced.
yeah, they had trucks.
I know Legends,
Late
Bandoleros, late models,
Okay.
all ran doubles.
Yeah. I remember the original one where it was like
Yeah,
every
everybody.
class ran
We
two.
were there. It
Yeah.
seemed like for 2 days. It seemed like. But anyway, so let's go to the phone real quick. Man, that I had to get him on here, because he took a ride for sure. Mr. Jake Trato. Am I saying your last name right? How do you say your last name? Trado. Okay, I was right. Cool. So what's up with you, man? You doing all right today? Good deal, buddy. Good deal. Well, man, we just talked about it a little bit. You took a nasty ride at Florence Motor Speedway this past week. Yeah. Yeah, should have flown into Timminsville and just jumped out the plane with no parachute, I think. Well, man, first of all, I want to talk to you a little bit. First of all, how old are you?
I am 27.
27. Okay. So, and you've been doing this for how long now?
I've been racing since I was 7.
So,
Started go-karts, hopped in a legend car at 14, and really had just run on and off, maybe 15 races a year.
Okay, cool. And it's fast too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I've
it's
seen.
super fast. I mean, we're gonna say that off the bat, super fast. So man, all right, we got a video here. I sent it to you earlier today. Well, was it hard to watch?
No, it's easy for me to watch. It's easier for me to watch than it is for my family or for my brother.
I bet. So we're gonna play it here. Unfortunately, we're not live on Facebook, but this video is going on Facebook and YouTube, all that stuff. So, but anyway, we have some technical issues, so we're just recording everything and putting it on there. So, anyway, all right, I'm gonna play it here, so some guys can see it. So let's go over to it here. Oh, why is it? Hold on. We're gonna have to edit this.
I think you might be on the wrong
I
one.
am. Or either something funky is going on. All right, let's hold on 1 second on this because something got funky here. I'll have to edit this out. Won't be on the video, but all right, here we go. Well, all right. Regardless, we're going to put it in the, I don't know what, that should be it there. Transform. I don't think that's the right one still. I don't know why. Oh, there we go.
Yep, there it is.
There we go. Let's pause this. Good old. Okay, here we go. All right, we're going to talk through it here. So, coming out of turn 4, last lap, you took it on the high side. Looks like somebody up ahead got a little squirrely. Dennis Brown in 95 got on the brakes, and you launched. And when I say launched, that is a understatement. So you walk us through it yourself. Tell us what you thought about it.
Opportunity that I got to come back or run again. And so we just had an issue where, like, I pitted because we forgot we plugged the radiator fan in wrong and had it wired backwards. So we had to pit to fix that, and we just got to the point where I was just going to ride around and finish the race. Like, I was just going to roll around and come take the checkered, no big deal. And like, I just didn't expect him to, like, I saw a little smoke, but I didn't expect him to come up and then hit the brake pedal. Like, if he just came up and ran through the checkered, it'd have been fine, but I wasn't expecting either one of those things to happen, really.
Right.
So it just kind of worked out to where I was looking at the checkered flag and then looking at the catch fence and then some ground and then the sky, and yeah.
No fun. So I was up on the spotter stand, and man, I just looked and I was like, oh my. I was actually spotting for the car that had the camera on it.
Gotcha.
So I'm just telling him, just stop wherever you are and just and because I ain't gonna lie, my heart dropped when I saw it just because it just looked violent. With all the body parts flying off the car. I think pretty much everything come off the car but the doors, didn't it?
Yeah, the firewall and the cowl are still on there, and the window barely. But yeah, other than that, everything's pretty much gone.
Wow, that's so. When you finally come to a land or come to a stop there, what was your thoughts?
Well, I couldn't really believe it had just happened. Honestly, it was one of those deals where it was like, my brother's flipped twice, and I've never been on my head in my life. It was just kind of one of those deals where it's like, wow, that really happened. Like, I really went for that ride. And I was just kind of like checking myself over, making sure my toes still moved, and my hands were good, and I didn't like lose anything or do nothing dumb while I was, flying there. But yeah, it was pretty wild. Everybody got there pretty quick. Mag from Alex Meggs' crew got there, and Clifford, my brother, and I appreciate everybody checking in on me and stuff. And I don't know, it was just a wreck, really.
It was, but it was spectacular, I guess we'll say, in a not so good way, man. But I wanted to reach out to you today. First of all, I mean, that's what I said. I said, how you feeling from that? So were you a little sore yesterday?
I was a little sore yesterday. I landed on my butt, and that was probably the worst thing. Is all the stuff was broke off, and you hear about sprint car guys getting hurt the same way, where it lands with nothing, with everything broke off, and just lands flat. That's the only pain I feel is just a little bit left over from that. Couple bruises, couple sore spots, nothing big. No racing stripes on my shoulders, so that was good. Yeah. I'm happy. My Simpson stuff held up. My Butler built seat held up. I'm here, talking to everybody and not really any more messed up than I was to begin with. So,
well, good, man, good. That's what I was fixing to say. That's why I try to preach to these guys a lot of times, man. Don't skimp out on your safety, because that's it's going to keep you safe. I mean, it really is. I mean, I see guys going out there, no kind of hidden neck support or anything, and I'm just like, man, y'all need to get something on.
Yeah, like, at the end of the day, you got to think about how much your life is worth. And I've lost enough people lately that I know how much a funeral costs. And, it's no fun for anybody else to have to do that or help you or go to the hospital with you. They don't want that. You don't want that. At the end of the day, I was wearing a $1,200 helmet and a $700 Hans, and it probably honestly saved my life because I hit a ton.
Oh, yes, for sure. Man, I was looking, I was walking across the track, and there's a hole in the track where that thing come down and just buried in the track. So, man, that's awesome. We're just glad to hear from you. Glad that you were okay. Glad you were able to hop out of that car. So what's next for you?
We haven't got that far. We were in the middle of fixing my brother's car. My cousin runs our Bandolero. Right. My brother and I own. So we're going to get him ready for the shootout. And I don't know. We haven't quite decided. I have a sedan chassis, and a lot of the parts actually made it, I think.
Okay. Nice.
So we're not in terrible shape. But I think it's going to be, I'm looking at a different route. I love legend car racing, but I'm not getting any younger, and it might be time to just try something different. I've run enough cars. I've run a lot of different things. That's right. One time, but
that's what I wanted to kind of ask you. Also, me and Dennis actually had this the one that you made a ramp out of. We had this conversation yesterday.
Yeah,
you've been in Legends a long time, been racing them a long time, been around them, and seen the evolution, I guess we'll say, with new engines coming in, and just we're steadily getting faster and faster and faster. And I looked myself, and me and Connor were talking about this not long ago even. In the past year and a half at Florence and at Dillon even, we're running, or everybody has gotten almost, well, Dillon is a second faster, pretty much we were running 2 years ago. And right. Florence is heading that way. On a good day, it's about the same. Man, do you feel like these things are almost getting too fast?
I hate to say they're getting too fast, but they're becoming more and more and more of a real race car, and that was really not the intention.
Right.
And I hate to say it because it's going to take a little while to recover from this, but you have a bunch of cars that have, effectively out-of-date parts at this point, whether it be Bilstein shocks or drums or, now with disc brakes and, the AFCOs. It's going to take a little while for it to come. So speed-wise, I don't think the speed's an issue. For myself, the fact that I could have been racing against a 10-year-old yesterday is just wild.
Right.
But, it's one of those things where, is it fast for a 10-year-old? Yes. Is Florence fast for a 10-year-old? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we're out of short tracks to go to. Like, other than Wake County, that's really the only quarter mile left in the area. So yeah, that's kind of the trade-off, is we really don't have anywhere smaller to go for the people to learn or kids to learn. Going to Florence is really the only option, or Dillon or Caraway or something like that. It's going to be a big racetrack.
That's right. And I said that same thing. I said, yeah, on a quarter mile, I think you're fine, with the speeds, because you're not going to get but so fast.
The wrecks can happen anywhere, but I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Even like the old Concord quarter mile and everything closed down.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And I grew up there.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's I don't know. I just with them, like you just said, racing 10-year-olds and stuff out there. I guess I'm old enough now and have kids of my own that I'm kind of, I'm like, man, I don't feel like this is. I'm not saying it's not safe. Don't get me wrong, because obviously you prove that these are safe race cars if everything is done correctly.
Right.
But man, I don't know. It's tough, and you know how it is up there at the front of that field when you're running out front and the guy in second place is a 12-year-old kid or something, and that is running just as fast, but unfortunately, they don't have the. I mean, it's just an experience thing. They don't have the racecraft yet, and so it gets a little hairy sometimes.
Right. So, like, for example, yesterday or Saturday, excuse me, I was behind. I qualified sixth, had an issue in qualifying, and that's why I wound up where I wound up. But I settled in at sixth and was riding behind Ben Morabito. And CJ at 860 builds fantastic race cars, and the kid he's new. He just moved up. But he's going to be a really, really fast kid here in a couple months, to be honest with you. He's going to be really quick. I was not comfortable making a move on him yesterday. I was just kind of cruising there, just chilling for a little while. Like, we have a long way to go. We have 2 races today. The 5 guys in front of me were anywhere from 12 to 14 years old. Like, I'm good. I'll just sit there and chill. Like, if the kid makes a big enough mistake, I'll capitalize on that. But I'm not going to put myself or him in jeopardy of wrecking.
That's right.
There was no need for that, no reason for that. We're racing for, nothing at that point, running 6th and 7th and whatever. Like, the kid was gaining experience, and we were going really fast. Like, I looked at what we were running for lap times at that point, and he's just as fast as we are.
Yeah, I was watching lap times yesterday, and man, it was like everybody was just under a blanket. I mean, everybody was so fast, and that's what somebody was talking about. I was like, man, it's so hard to pass. I said, it's because everybody's running the same speed.
Right.
Everybody's fast.
I feel like I had a better car than 6th, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah.
But, I think I just wasn't going to put myself in that spot to take a big chance.
That's right.
If we hadn't had that issue and hadn't pitted, I probably wouldn't have flipped. But at the same time, here we are. Can't change it now.
You are 100% correct there. So I don't know. I think it's a debate to talk about. I mean, I think bringing the age limit down to 10. I mean, I'm not saying it was a bad thing, but I think it's a good thing when you're running separate classes. I don't know if it's a great thing. I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence myself.
Yeah, I agree. I am too. And not every 10-year-old can do that.
Exactly.
Not every 10-year-old can do that.
Well, man, let everybody know who's helping you out this year and along here.
I want to thank Brown and Miller Racing Solutions. They have been a partner of mine and a friend of mine for a long, long time. Butler Built Seats, Simpson Race Products. My brother, Nate, my family, Chris, Randy, my dad. My mom was my biggest supporter, and sadly she's gone, but here we are. We're still clicking along. We'll find something else to run this year, and whether it's a midget or a Thunder Roadster or a late model, we'll find something to drive.
That's what I was fixing to say. I seen you done some driving. Where was it, over at Dillon or something like that in a late model or something?
I ran a Charger car for Chris East for Redhead Racing.
Okay.
And I ran New Year's Bash. That's the only late model race I've run.
Yeah.
But I think 2 years before that, I ran 7 different cars, whether it was a go-kart, a legend car, I ran a midget, a Thunder Roadster, a baby grand car. Like, I was all over the place there for a hot minute.
Jake just wants to race.
Yeah, 4 wheels and a steering wheel. I'm good.
There you go.
Dirt, asphalt, won Dirt Nationals 2 years ago. Like,
Well, I'm just saying to anybody out there listening, if I know y'all got some rebuilding and all that fun stuff to do, but if there's anybody listening that won't say wheelman in your car, get a hold of Jake. He'll put you up front for sure. Well,
I
man,
appreciate it. Thank you.
well, buddy, we appreciate you coming on, and like I said, glad you're all right after that, and glad to see all your safety equipment did its job. But just wanted to run through that tonight and make sure, show everybody the bad part that can happen, but also the good that can come out of it when you got your correct safety gear on, and how you can pop right out just like you did.
Yeah, I mean, a couple bumps and a couple bruises, which is no different than if you get in a fight with your brother. No different. And it's you're supposed to be going there to have fun, and if you leave in the meat wagon, it's not any fun for anybody.
That's right. Well, good deal, buddy. Well, I appreciate you jumping on with us tonight, man, and hopefully we'll be talking with you again here soon. But hopefully sitting in victory lane, not just sitting on the front straightaway.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Me too. I hope that's the case too.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jake Trato taking a nasty spiel.
That's
there.
the thing about it. I mean, you're just going so fast, and they're not much more than open wheel cars.
Dude,
that's the hard part. You can rub fenders and stuff in full body cars.
Exactly.
You're going to hit wheels. And they'll jump. They jump wheels.
Well,
so
and
easy.
that was my thing. Is that's what I was getting at. And me and you've talked about it. But we're getting to run in the same times as like a Charger car.
Oh yeah, that's what I was. And I didn't even think about it until he said that. But he's right. I keep saying that these tracks are too big for them to be on, but there's not, like you said, there's really hardly any quarter miles anymore.
No.
And I mean, the ones that were, the Concord, especially the big one, obviously right there in Race City did very well, but when the whole complex got sold and all, so yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know how you slow them. I mean, they keep making new parts because they want people to buy new parts, so it's gonna make them continue to go faster.
That's right. That is right. 100%. Pause the recording here a second because I don't know what's going on with this thing tonight. It's really annoying me. Everybody see this on the recording here, but I want to get this one correct. See, it's not coming up. Let's see. Okay. This is correct here. All right. 3, 2, 1. Well, we talked about Jake's misfortune there off the back, using our buddy Dennis Brown as a ramp on the right side of Dennis Brown. Well, the next race of the two, unfortunately, Dennis was in the middle of another one. He come out of turn 4, 3 wide. I got it pulled up here. We're going to play it here. And I think he kind of got squeezed up or thought he was going to get squeezed. Whatever, regardless. I think he did brush the wall, maybe. And it slowed him down. Had to check up regardless. Well, somebody was right behind him again. Unfortunately, it's Thomas Martucci. And Barry were right behind him. So kind of the turn 2 crew there all got took out. So let's we'll walk through it.
Almost same scenario.
Exact same scenario. Dennis checks up. Thomas is right on him and literally used his car as a ramp and went all the way over him.
Yeah.
I mean, like it busted the roof of Dennis's car.
It's crazy to see in slow motion how the car literally bounce. It'll hit the ground and bounce up.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And it's like it caught. And I hate to say it. Well, I mean, I think it's actually a good thing. It's stunt regardless for Barry. But if Barry wouldn't have hit the bottom side of Thomas's car, I think it probably would have started flipping also. Unfortunately, Thomas's car pretty much, I don't know if it's totaled, but it's real close to it. I know he messaged me asking if I knew anybody had a frame, a whole chassis anyway. But man, that's what I'm saying. It's just everything happens so fast.
I remember the wreck I got in. It was just boom.
Yeah. and yours kind of same situation.
Yeah,
Same exact spot.
yeah, that's the trouble spot.
So I don't know. What do we do about
All
it?
thing you can do is cap the field, make it shorter and shorter. But I mean,
Me and Dennis had a thought yesterday, and this is just my thought. There's some of them out there that really want to run for INEX points, and unfortunately, and the bad thing is, I don't know if I'm really hating on these guys, or I'm not trying to hate on anybody. Don't get me wrong, but we had a, you know, we're we were talking about the young guys out there, you know, and it's like, okay, let's. Our thought was maybe if we can talk Ron at Dillon and Steve at Florence maybe into it. All right, let's have a class if everybody wants to run for INEX points, and then let's have a, I don't know what you call it, but a hobby class essentially.
Yeah.
Let's do it for. We still want to race, but you know, I just don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
they made everybody buy INEX licenses last week, didn't they? Or supposedly
I don't
had
know.
to. But I mean, but they want everybody in the race to get more INEX points. You know?
Well,
So
and
I don't
that's
know
what it is
if
because
there'll
you
be
get more points.
yeah,
with more
winning
entries.
a 20 car field than winning a
Exactly.
12 or 11, whatever. But
I get that.
I don't know. They might just
But
have to start capping it at a 15 car
in
field.
saying this, it wasn't the
No.
young guys that caused
It's
these.
not. I mean, it's
Just
just
terrible
the nature of the cars. I don't know.
circumstances.
Yeah.
But in saying that, at Dillon a few weeks ago, last time you tried to run a legend car, you kind of were caught up in one of those
Yeah.
situations where
And I don't think. I mean, obviously that was people that have come before, you know, even before our next point. So I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Legends are there's so much of uses both the learning car and the, you know, a lot of people that are going fast that maybe just aren't quite
Well,
racecraft yet.
and that's my way of thinking too. I think we're going too fast for what the car was intended to do. I mean, it's supposed to be a learning car, but if you slow it down, it's going to put us in more of a big pack.
It's going to be a pack. I don't know.
So I don't know. I feel like there needs to be a way to create separation somehow.
Yeah,
but I don't
same.
know how we're
Well,
going.
Well, you see a lot of times. There's been some nights where it's been very surprising. There'll be 25 cars and no. It's like if you can survive the first 6 or 7 laps, they'll be okay. But cautions and then caution. And once you get the first one, it seems like
That's how it
it's
was
over.
all day Saturday
Yeah.
at Florence. It was like 5 laps caution.
caution,
5
yeah.
laps caution.
like if you can ever get
Fortunately, they
over.
only ran 15 laps a race.
Yeah, if you can ever get over that threshold and run some laps, it's usually like everything else. It starts to spread out a little bit, or at least there. You know, even if it's not super, even if there's still some packs, it's not everybody.
Right.
Not everybody can see the leader in front of them.
There was a
Trying to
pack
get there.
in both races the other day, and it was from about 5th to 15th.
Yeah,
It was a solid pack, and that's what I heard everybody saying. They're like, "Well, we can't pass. They were too wide the entire time, and if you were on the bottom or top, wherever, you were just stuck. You couldn't. I mean, unless you just made some crazy move that probably wasn't going to turn out good, and normally there was a wreck or something like somebody spun. I don't know. It just I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I feel like I'm like you though. I feel like kind of sometimes our classes or races are too big
yeah.
almost.
And the drivers. I mean, I put some on the driver too. Obviously,
yeah.
those were just unfortunate stuff. But you got to have some risk management too. You know,
You do.
of,
You do.
hey, this cars are susceptible to rolling over and just, you know, side to side contact is going to cause a wreck. You know, 90% of the time, but 20 laps you got to go too. But you got to have some
It was just
some
crazy.
discernment of when. Okay, we got to lock some laps here.
Yeah, it was just crazy how both those cars just launched the
Yeah.
way they did. That was insane to me. I don't know. It was
That's worst case scenario with the car behind coming at a higher rate of speed and
Yeah.
hitting wheel to wheel, you know, straight on.
It was funny because Dennis's bumper both times when he came in the other day was bent straight forward in line with the body. made a perfect ramp out of the bumper.
Wow.
It was something else. It was crazy. It was crazy for sure. I was spotting for Barry Martin, and he got in that last one, and he caught the underside of Thomas, and it ripped the right front off of Barry's car. I mean, it like kept on going down to turn one.
Yeah. I watched that part on the flow.
And his wrist was hurting some, but he was good. He was out there tearing out the car yesterday. So
Yeah, that's what he said.
I don't know. It just stinks that we're getting to the point of.
Yeah, I hate seeing torn up race cars.
That's what I'm
always.
saying. It's like every week we're tearing up race cars. Somebody's tearing up race cars, and you're just waiting for that week to be you. I mean, unfortunately, that's like our buddy Rafe. He bought a brand new car, and he ain't finished the race yet without it tore up. Well, I think I don't think he ended up running it, Dylan, did he?
No, it was mechanical.
Yeah, that was mechanical, but the races he ran got wrecked in both of them. And I don't know. It's just we're I don't know. Who knows? But real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I want to throw these out there real quick. We got our buddy Skylar Whitfield. Y'all go check him out, ladies and gentlemen. He was at the track Saturday. I don't know why I said Friday, but Saturday night. Tonight, if you might still catch about an hour of the show if you're there. Boardwalk Billy's there in North Myrtle Beach. On the 16th tomorrow, Bubba's Love Shack in Merle's Inlet. 17th, he's at Ocean Crest Seahorse Eats and Drink in Oak Island, North Carolina. The 18th, 49th Street Bar and Grill and Patio in Oak Island, North Carolina. He's got a week full of it. 19th, Flip Flops Bar and Grill, Myrtle Beach. 20th, Neil and Pam's in Surfside. Then the 21st, Captain Archie's, and he'll be with Route 65 in North Myrtle Beach there. So y'all go check out our buddy Skylar Whitfield. He was announcing over at Florence this past weekend, sang the national anthem. It's getting to be his busy season down there, singing everywhere. So y'all go check him out. SkylarWhitfield.live. Go check out his shows. Go check him out on Spotify, Apple, all those good. Anywhere you can find your music. Go check out our buddy Skylar Whitfield. Appreciate him coming on board here for the 2024 season. But also our good friends over at SRI Performance. I got to give them a call now. We need a few things over there. So y'all go over to SRI Performance. Find anything you need over there racing-wise. Go online, put in that promo code at time of checkout, CBONE10. That's C as in?
Chicken.
BONE10. Get yourself 10% off at time of checkout. Anything you need there racing-wise. Same deal over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, guys. All the good stuff, all the structural materials that you need to make that race car fast, make it look good, make it structurally safe. Head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, get all the materials you need, ladies and gentlemen. Also, Profab headers and exhaust. That number 9 car that went to Victory Lane at Texas this past weekend had some Profab headers on it. Profab headers, all Team Hendrick Profab headers and exhaust. Also, ladies and gentlemen, Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Guess what?
Got one on the way.
I got it here.
Got it.
It is sitting in the shop.
Sweet.
My Earl Ramey Racing Engine came in last week. We are ready to put it in the car. It is it looks good. Cool. It's gonna run just as good.
Yeah.
So y'all head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Get you some horsepower today. Man, any application you got, if you looking at them Carolina crates like we were talking about, our 602s, top of the line, there's a ton of them out there already running them. So get you one to any other application, super late models, Charger like we're running, he can hook you up. So head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines and get yourself one today. Anyway, I guess there was some NASCAR racing this past week at Texas. Were we happy to see Texas? I don't know. I mean, we come off
Not
some
really.
short tracks
Yeah, but
that put on some dismal racing, I guess. And went to Texas. And I was kind of listening to this, the Teardown. You ever listen to that podcast by chance? Nate Ryan, Jeff Gluck. No, I'm sorry, not Nate Ryan. Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi. I don't know why I said Nate Ryan. But anyway, they kind of come right after the race, kind of do a, post-race report right after. They do it live on YouTube, all that stuff. And Jeff Gluck has his race poll every week on Twitter, asking if it was a good race or not. I kind of said this week, that's a loaded question, if it was a good race.
Yeah.
Was it a entertaining race to some extent? Probably so.
especially from what you just came off of.
Right. But was it good racing? I don't think so.
No, I mean,
If you couldn't get it in 2-3 laps off the restart, you couldn't get it.
well, the cars are just so sketchy side by side. They
Yeah.
can't. You see how people just lost it. Which, I mean, people losing every now and then is fine, but I mean, you couldn't go in there too wide. Just the cars were so sketchy
Right.
and so aero sensitive because there's so much on throttle time. As much as I hate to say it, I mean that was a terrible reconfiguration or whatever they did. It'd always be better to be configured into like a Charlotte or something. Even though, I mean, unfortunately, the mile and a half is where this next gen car shines. So if you're gonna, I don't know, make it a more symmetrical track, but what it would, the reconfigured obviously terribly failed because they had planned for them to be running at the top and everything else, but it's right around the bottom and you just can't pass.
All right. Well, that's what I was going to ask you. So, okay, say they go back and say, all right, we're going to fix this. We're going to do something to reconfigure it again. What do? Do you take out turns 1 and 2 and put them, essentially reconfigure them back to the way they
Yeah.
were? Or do you cut the whole track up, start over? Do you make it another Atlanta?
I hope not.
I hope
That's what
not.
I was afraid
I
they
hope
do.
not.
Well, you can't. You gotta be careful.
What do you think? What do you
I
do?
don't know. I hate the cookie cutter tracks, but you just need to. I don't know. Whatever they got going on now, it just ain't working. You got to. I mean, that turn is so wide, but they can only use fourth of it. Really,
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just.
On the restarts, looked like whoever was on the outside could hold
Yeah, you
in
can
1
hold
and
it,
2. But once you got to 3, you better be backing off.
They need to just tighten the corners, really, because I mean they can go about wide open through 3 and 4.
That's what I was fixing to say. I think one of the biggest problems is that they're wide
So
open.
much on throttle time. Yeah.
They're wide open, and they know they have to be wide open. And if they step out beyond that just a little bit, all of a sudden, cars
Those
gone.
cars are snapping fast. I mean,
They're snapping so fast. And another thing I'm gonna say, and I don't know. I'm not saying this all this by no means, but I think these boys are not accustomed to running a too much of a loose car anymore.
what you doing?
What are you doing? What you got?
Yeah.
Show it to them. Show them. Show them your pictures.
Whoa.
Show your other picture.
Look at there.
Show the next one. Next.
Boom.
Good deal. All right. Take-
Take some.
Not right now. Not right now. Good job. High five. Taking mommy.
Later.
Later. But yeah, I just don't think they're accustomed to driving a loose car anymore. Now that was snappy loose.
Yeah,
I mean that was
obviously.
completely snappy loose, but I don't think they're accustomed to driving a
Well,
loose
they kind
car
of
like that
they had thankfully got away with the diffuser from being so side force dependent.
Yeah.
But obviously, when you're running that wide open, somebody hangs on your door. I mean, you just I don't know. It's
Have-
just the nature of
I know we're talking about all this other stuff. Everybody's talking about tires, talked about this, that, the other. Have we gotten too crazy though with aerodynamic stuff? The diffusers.
oh yeah.
the-
Well, I guess, but they were. I mean, you remember the package before the Arrow, which is awful. You couldn't be in somebody's weight with 10 car links, or you just couldn't. You get tight. So I don't.
Mark Martin said a few weeks ago that they, back in the early 90s, I think it was, he said their car made, what did he say it was? It made 0 rear downforce, and it only made like 10 pounds of front downforce.
Yeah.
He said in those days you could drive right up somebody's bumper.
Oh yeah, that's what they wish they could get back to.
If somebody drove up right to your bumper, you would get a little loose.
Obviously,
Yeah. And I'm just like, man, why can't we go back to
you
that?
have to make rules and just say this.
That's what I'm
this is
saying.
Body, because obviously you give them a body, they're gonna trip it out
Oh, yeah.
aerodynamically and the wind tunnel hours and everything. So yeah, you have to do that. Give them some horsepower to actually so they
I think
motor up behind.
I don't think the horse.
No, I don't think horsepower is.
I don't think horsepower
like that. But we are running 670 horsepower instead of 900. So
Yes.
it's obviously you
But
need
we're also-
more momentum is more of a key than it was.
We're also running a tire that was now, what is it, 2 inches wider than what it used to be? Each tire. So that's 4 inches per axle. And I'll just say it. We saw on a Legend car what 1.5 inches would do at Dillon Motor Speedway.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
so you
tires are
scale
massive.
that up, it's going to do the same thing.
yeah,
I think they're just too stuck to the track.
yeah.
They're not having to use the brake. I think the brakes are too good. I think they're too good. Just personal. Personal opinion. I just think the brakes are too good. But regardless of that, there's too much tire on the track.
Too much tire and just the whole car. I don't know.
That's what I told Skylar Whitfield, actually. Me and him were texting back and forth yesterday, and I said, I think to have a good short track race now, you're basically going to have a like they had back in the, what was it, 90s, early 2000s maybe. They had a different car there was a speedway car, there was a short track car, there was a road course car.
Yeah, only that's gonna take away from your cost saving measures.
I agree, but I don't think they're taking away from it now anyway, from what I hear.
Have to develop another car.
But I think to have a good short track car, you're going to have to basically develop one with a narrower tire, and I think you're going to have to go back either to a 4-speed or you're going to have to adjust ratios so they're not shifting that.
You have to go 4-speed. And I suppose I hate to say it about like the old car at short track. I mean, the Nation car does good at kind of the weird, at the Poconos, the Darlingtons, so a lot of mile and a half. So it definitely has places it shines, but it's not a good short track car. Like the car's not built to race good on short tracks, in my opinion, or road courses. I mean, this is so. That's why NASCAR was interesting on road course, because the brake zones were so big, and it was they can move each other, and this race is like you would expect from watching a GT car or something.
I told Terry this last week, and I'll say it to you. I told him that I think I went on record as saying, and I put this on Twitter, I think this car is the worst thing car-wise that has come to NASCAR since when the COT came in.
Yeah.
And I will stand by that. I still say it. It's even the mile and a halves. Don't get me wrong. They're still not they're putting on okay racing. I mean, it's good. It's good compared to the short track. Yeah. Which is a very low bar.
Well, you're seeing. I mean, the first 2 years it was really good. This
That's
year
'cause
it's
they
not
didn't
great.
know
I
anything
say
about
the more they figure it out, the more it's gonna. That's not going. I mean, the first year, I mean, the mile and a half were just awesome. Second year, kind of the same deal. Now, I mean, they're starting to figure it out. They're starting to, look more and more like.
Well, they keep on talking about going to test and let's test the package. Let's go to Martinsville and test, and we're going to test a package. It's an aerodynamic package. I'm like,
There shouldn't be no arrow at
There's
Martinsville.
not enough arrow at there shouldn't be no arrow, but you're not making enough. You're still not making enough arrow at Martinsville. That is the problem with the car. It's not.
No.
Put the rain tires on it. I don't care. Just take the contact patch off the tire. It's killing them. It's killing them. I don't know. So anyway, Texas did have a good finish in the Xfinity race.
Yeah, I didn't get to see. I didn't get to watch
I didn't
it,
get to
but
watch
I
it either.
did obviously. So hated to see didn't win. No, don't know anything else happened in the race really.
I don't
other
either.
than that. So that's pretty cool. Xfinity. I'm about ready to say let the Xfinity car be the Cup car.
It needs
The
to be.
Xfinity is pretty awesome everywhere.
You know something? That's why they don't show speeds on the chart anymore.
Well, Xfinity's about as fast.
Xfinity's faster than a lot of tracks.
Yeah,
So
it's not as a eye appeasing car, but I think it races a lot better.
race is so much better. Your boy Kyle Busch got it done in the trucks.
Yeah, he did. He must have won out. It looked like
He somehow managed a top 10 in the Cup race, though.
awful. Both
It
of them
was
were terrible.
I think it was just through attrition.
Oh, attrition and lucky pit strategy. He wasn't on the top 10, top 20 ticker.
What's
all
wrong
day.
with him this year?
I don't know. I mean,
what has changed
They
from
used to
last
be
year?
decent at mile and a halfs and stuff. They usually at least were good there. They weren't good at short tracks anywhere.
No.
But I don't know. I don't know if it's just like the Hendricks and other people are figuring it out more and more, and so the kind of the newness of level of the competition is wearing off, and they're falling back to where they were, or what? Or the Chevy camp's too crowded, and they're just I don't know. They don't seem to have any speed anywhere.
They don't. And, used to it was, show up. And they did all right at Super Speedway, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but, whatever. That's not going to win you a championship by no means.
No.
I don't know. It's uncharacteristically off. I mean, normally, Kyle Busch went to any. He was at JGR forever, but that's why people wanted him. Like now, Spire wants him to drive that truck because he makes their team better.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that was his old stuff, but still, he can come in there and tell them, this is what this truck needs. But he can't do it with his car, apparently.
Well,
I mean, he don't know enough.
yeah.
I mean,
and I don't think you can't go but so far above your. I mean, he outruns Austin every week, but
that's what I was fixing
you
to say.
can't
There's,
go but so much above your equipment.
well, you're not going to go above equipment, but there's so many limits on this car.
I think this car is so different than any Cup car. I think, the old Cup car, or the previous, normal stock cars,
Right.
he obviously was very, very good at that. But this new car, I don't think you quite, there's just the adjustments are different, and the everything about it is different than how, I mean, hearing like Chase Elliott, people talk about how he was on a winning streak because just the way you drive the car is so different.
He wouldn't have won yesterday, I don't think, if Denny Hamlin hadn't have
No.
backed her in the wall because Denny was faster.
Yeah, but like it shows, you can move in front of them aero wise and it's just gone. You got
That's
to back
exactly what
out.
he did. He
You
took the
back
air
out.
off the left front fender, and all of a sudden it just piled air on the right and
thing.
spun him out.
Happened to Michael McDowell and several
Yep.
other people who lost it.
Yep. I don't know. I'm not impressed. I think we basically to have a good Cup race, in my opinion, I just think we need to essentially, I ain't saying scrap the car, but you got to scrap everything, every thought about it.
Yeah.
The transaxles, the underbody, there probably are some good characteristics of this car, but they're not showing
Yeah. I mean,
for the most part.
and people got to understand sometimes somebody's going to dominate the race.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not every NFL game's exciting,
No.
Sometimes somebody's just going to dominate and they're just going to be able to money. But I just want to see a car that they can race with.
That's my thing. Is
I don't feel like this one's holding them back so much. I feel like
if you can't pass at all
yeah.
throughout the field, well, that's just like Martinsville.
oh yeah,
Denny Hamlin was talking about, he made it up to Austin Cindric, who was a lap down. I think he said Austin Cindric, or Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon.
Few laps probably.
And he couldn't pass him. Why can't you pass a lap car?
Yeah,
And it was all arrow. I mean, he just said he could not get his arrow, and plus Austin going in the corner. even if you missed the corner, just downshift and
Get her on
drive off. So I don't know. I'm not even the Texas Motor Speedways just did not.
Yeah, and that's not a great. I
do
mean,
it
that
for me.
is to at least put it in perspective. That was one of the worst tracks with this next gen car. Period. The first 2 years with any car, really, it's just not a very good track.
I think NASCAR's going to have to do something here shortly.
They will have to take another swing at it.
Well, when Dale Earnhardt Jr. starts talking about it as much as he's talking about it,
Well, you should.
fans listen.
Well, I mean, you got at least so you run Martinsville and Bristol 4 times a year.
Yeah.
At least 1 or 2 of those has to be a good race.
Well,
just by the way that it is usually, just by putting so many stock cars on a short track. But I mean, there hasn't been outside of
Bristol was
Chastain's wall riding. There's all. I mean, that's the only moment from this next gen car at a short track,
Bristol was accidentally a good race.
and that's not
That's
sustainable.
not going to happen
Yeah,
again. It's very unlikely that that's going to happen again. So, I don't know. I don't know.
at least we got the local short tracks to go to.
We got the local ones to go to, and we got to talk about some of that coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank our good friends over at Dixie Made, right here in Florence, South Carolina. Go check them out right over here at the corner of Palmetto and Freedom Boulevard, right there at the flea market. So go check out Dixie Made, all the greatest brands of all the Southern apparel we like to wear around here. Southern Fried Cotton, Simply Southern, and so many more. Sunglasses, hats, coolers, shirts, shorts, anything. I don't care what you want. They got it. So y'all head over to Dixie Made. Also, Fresh Chef up in the Race City area. Charlotte, Mooresville, Concord, all those areas there. Y'all head over to Fresh Chef. It is some of the best food you will ever eat. It's good stuff. Also, our good friends over at RevMax Racing Apparel. Connor,
Yeah,
did
I paid them a visit.
Did you pay them a visit?
I did. Went out there and got all measured up and talked about some design options and stuff. So I think should be getting here soon. Gets to see what's going to look like and all. So I'm excited to see what they come up with.
Good,
Excited to get it.
good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
well, it's cool.
Glad to see you getting a suit there.
Yeah,
gonna
been
look
in-
snazzy.
Yeah, been in need of one, so I figured we pay him a visit. So ready to see what it's going to look like and ready to get out there with it.
Sweet. So y'all go head over to RevMax Racing Apparel. Multi-layer suits, cart suits, single layer, SFI stuff if you need it. So y'all head over to RevMax Racing Apparel. Tell them we sent you down there. Also, MPM Marketing. It is the month of April, which is a near dear month to us, as also it is MPM Marketing. It is Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month. So y'all head over, but I just want to mention that was here, something cool for Tanya and MPM and all her drivers this month. Their numbers on their car are all the puzzle pieces, so pretty cool. So y'all head over if you are in this racing game and you are trying to advance. Y'all head over to MPM Marketing. You got to get with a good marketing partner, and there's none better than MPM. So head over to marketwithmpm.com. It's super good stuff, for sure. I want to pull something up here really quick. I told Mr. Douglas Briggs I'd bring this up on the show. They have a sponsor on their car that is I want to make sure I get the name right real quick. That's why I'm looking it up. Wheel. No, it's gonna bother me. Oop, 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 oop. There we go. Mr. Douglas Briggs brought us over from their sponsor, Smoking Meats Barbecue, out of I think they're out of Ridgeville, South Carolina. They're not a sponsor of ours, but I just wanted to bring this up. I told him I would. He brought us these things called shotgun shells. Basically, they're a pasta type deal, big old round, but they're also wrapped in bacon, stuffed with barbecue.
Wow.
And covered with barbecue sauce. You talk about good. Them things were on time. I love barbecue anyway, personally. That's just one of my favorite foods. And this stuff was good. So I'm going to have to go check them out down there. But that's Smoking Meats Barbecue. Like I said, down in Ridgeville, South Carolina. They're one of buddy Matt Briggs' sponsors.
Cool deal.
So anyway, I do want to bring up real quick, guys. We have for Autism Awareness Month, we have a kind of a fundraiser going on our Facebook page. Again this year for the Miracle League Florence. They are building a new field as we speak. They got it all laid out, dirt laid out. I think there's parts they got a concrete to put that
the rubber and all.
that rubber down, and it's already laid out. So, but we're doing a fundraiser for the Miracle League for Autism Awareness Month in honor of my son Jackson, who y'all see here on the videos all the time, coming in. He wants to sing on the microphone. So if you can, whatever you can, don't matter. No amount is too small for sure. Throw a donation their way, and we appreciate it. We appreciate anything you can give to them. We were actually out there Saturday morning before I went to track. They had a game Saturday morning. That's always a fun time out there, man. It's they have so much fun dancing and jumping and running and doing a little bit of everything that they do. So it's always fun, and it's great to be able to give them a place to do it. So, and that can't be done without donations from everybody, because there's no profit in it. I can promise you that it all goes back into the fields and to the jersey. They don't charge a dime for these hundreds of kids to play out to well, not just kids, people of any age, with any sort of special need. It's a place to be 100% inclusive. It's fun. Jackson got out there Saturday morning. He decided he didn't want to wear shoes.
Okay. Let him roll.
He just went with it. And so they started calling him Barefoot Joe Jackson out there. So yeah, like I said, guys, if y'all can donate anything to it, it is on our Facebook. It's pinned on top of our Facebook page right now. Go forward. Also, I got some shirts up on there that I just kind of designed for Autism Awareness Month, and so if y'all would like any of those, they are for sale on our. It's on my Etsy shop actually, but they are pinned on the Facebook page as well. So you want to get in them? We'll any. I don't know if I'm really making much profit off of it, but I just want them for people to be able to, show support anyway. If there is any profit made off of them, we'll definitely put that on top of the Miracle League donations for sure. So anybody orders those, we appreciate that. What else we got, Connor?
I guess we get ready for Dillon this week.
What you gonna be racing this week?
I don't know. Good question. We'll figure it out. We'll be there on something though. Plan to bring all Lucky 13 out there.
That is the plan.
Cool deal.
I was talking to my buddy Matt Grantham. My mom and dad are actually on a cruise right now. So that's typically my crew chief, and help at the track. They won't be back till Sunday.
Well,
so I think Matt said, well, I'll just bring the trailer over there and we'll load it up.
Roll on.
He wouldn't plan on racing. Then I said something about it, and he's like, I'll just bring a trailer over there. We'll load both of them up in there. If you don't do that, we can.
Come on.
We can load up in that big old thing out there. I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever. It don't matter. There's enough trailer somewhere to load them up in.
Get in there.
It don't matter. Connor wants to bring his over. We'll load all 3 of them up in there. Whatever. It don't make a difference. So, but I think we're going to try it. We got some new parts and pieces to try. I got new brakes on the car, shocks. So we're going to go try throw some different setup stuff at it because what I had at Dillon last time didn't work.
Yeah.
Well, on top of that, rear end gear came apart in the car. I thought it was just a U-joint, but it wasn't. It was the whole gear. Like the inside on the ring gear, the very inside corners just broke off on every tooth. Really weird.
Yep.
So, who knows? So, but anyway, threw another gear in already, so we'll try it again. We'll try it again. That's all we can do.
Yep. See,
I was trying to think what else going on. No, I think that's about it. Where's NASCAR at this week?
that's a good question.
That's what I said.
Wherever they're at.
I think Cars Tour is up at
Orange
County.
Be good.
That'd be a good race. Bobby McCarty won this past week.
Caught some of that one. Yeah, I watched a little bit of that.
Junior kind of wrecked a little bit. Got it tangled up with Landon Huffman. Landon Huffman is having a terrible
Very
start
bad.
to his year. I don't know what's going on. He says he don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it'd be like,
I want to talk to him. I've talked to him about getting him on here, and he's like, man, I'll do it. I'm like, I hate to bring you on after you.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's always awkward for
We'll
you.
catch
We'll catch you, when you're running good one week.
Yeah.
Or just had a fun day.
Yeah.
Whatever. It don't matter. So, anyway, all right. Well, Connor, let's we'll go get some cars ready.
Yep.
Hit
Sounds
your
like a plan.
track. We'll see y'all Saturday at Dillon Motor Speedway. We should be out there racing it up, I reckon.
Sounds good.
All right. See you next time.
Later.